Hi, Corey here at Camp Arowana, and today I'm just sitting here working on a little bit of backyard project and kind of self-teaching myself how to do some tiling. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm pretty much just winging it. I mean, I've looked around a little bit and researched a little bit, but I'm just kind of making this little spot here with these tiles that are all different and colorful and beautiful in their own unique ways. And as I'm working on it, I'm like struggling with getting the right cement mixtures and making sure I'm putting it on right and getting the tiles on there right so they actually stay. I already started over once because I think I don't know what I did, but it seems to be going better this time. So as I was working on this, I was just kind of thinking about one of my favorite sermons that I've ever listened to, and it was by Louis Giglio. If you haven't looked at Louis Giglio's work, he's all over the YouTube and everything, and I really recommend him. One of his talks, he's talking about, he's actually preaching through Colossians, and he's talking about a protein in our bodies that's called laminin. And laminin is this protein that holds all of our cells together. It binds them together, and it keeps them where they need to be, I guess. It keeps them in their correct structure. And so it's like a binding agent in our cells. And at some point, Louis discovered through his own learning and through someone else that laminin, if you look at it through a microscope, and also in scientific diagrams of it, it's in the shape of a cross. And so the protein that's in our cells that binds our cells together actually looks like a cross. And I was thinking about that as I'm obviously working with cement here, and things holding each other together just made me think of laminin. But it's a pretty amazing thing when we stop and think about the thing that's in our bodies that holds us together. God, who created our bodies and created that thing, that protein, laminin, left it as this little secret Easter egg, I guess, this little surprise for us to find, that is shaped like a cross. And that cross, that shape, reminds us of Jesus and what Jesus did for us on the cross. And just the reminder that as God says through Paul in Colossians, that it's all through Jesus. From the very beginning, God had a plan, and he had the plan to work through Jesus and through the cross in order for us to be redeemed and to come to him. And just an amazing thought that is, that God has built it into our DNA, that bridge to him. And that's what holds us together. And when we're struggling, when we're having a difficult time in life, when challenges are ahead of us, when we're stressed and don't know what in the world's going on or what decisions or choices to make, we just have to remember that God is holding us, and God is holding us together. God has a plan, and God is at work in us, in our lives, and through us. And hopefully that gives us some hope and gives us some strength and some courage as we plunge ahead in the task that is before us. So just a little bit of random thoughts as I'm out here working in the sun on Saturday. Hope you had a good weekend. Thank you. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For by him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities. All things were created by him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. And he is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning and the firstborn from among the dead, so that in everything he might have the supremacy. For God was pleased to have all his fullness dwell in him, and through him, to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, by making peace through the blood shed on the cross.